Hello, this is Brendan from AK Racing and welcome to a new video. This is part 2 of a series of how to get your feet off the ground and running in AK Racing. Today we're going to be looking at your mandatory apps and how to install them. So at AK we have a few apps that you must download. These ones are Apps Pack, which features a few apps, 5 I think to be exact. You have Prune, which is basically a leaderboard, real-time leaderboard, Pit Lane Penalty, how we moderate our penalties and pit lane speed limits, OSRW Race Admin, where you'll be notified of yellow flags and safety cars, Helicorsa, basically an awareness app, and Car Radar, which is also a awareness app. You don't have to run both of these in a race, but it is recommended that you run at least one of them. So to find this app pack, you simply have to go to our Google Drive, which can be found at this link. I'll leave it in the description. And so you'll want to download this folder, Apps Pack, Crew Chief V4, which basically gives you a spotter, and P Tracker, which is how you can track your time online. So I've already gone ahead and downloaded these in advance just to save time for the purpose of the video. We'll start with the apps pack as it is probably the simplest of the lot. I'm going to drag this over to one half of the screen and open up my Set Across a Route folder. So you can do this, you can find this folder which has all your AC stuff in it by going to your drive, whichever it is installed on. It might be C drive, colon, and then I'll say program files x86, and then Steam apps, common, and a Set Across. And quite simply, you just want to highlight both of these and drag them across just onto the empty space over here. It'll start installing, do its thing, and I've already got a few files on here. I'm just going to replace them. And boom, there you go, we are done. We can check the apps. I've already got a few in here for other apps that I've got installed on my AC, but you can see now we've got Car Radar, Crew Chief from earlier, Helicorsa, OSRW, Pit Lane Penalty, and Prune, which is the AC towers. So in that sense, we are done there. I'm just going to get back to the Set Across a Route folder. I'm going to close this one here, just minimize this. I'm also going to drag this over here. Now, P Tracker is a bit different because rather than being a folder or RAR file, it is an exe launcher. So you're going to want to highlight this, and I would recommend moving this rather than copying it. So I'm going to just Control X that, or you can right click and go cut. And this part is quite important. You need to paste it in your root folder. So I'm just going to go over here and Control V or paste, and it is now from downloads and in a Set Across a Route. Now I am going to launch this because this is where it can get a bit buggy. I've had a few issues in the past, but this is how I found to rectify it. So I'm just going to double click, approve this. Must be installed into a Set Across a game directory, so that's okay, just ignore all this, it is in the game directory. Now here's where you're going to copy this up here. So you can see it says C program files x86 blah blah blah, but as mentioned I'm on G, so I'm going to just click in here and Control C, head back over here, I'm going to go in here and select all of this and press Control V, and that should have it all copied over. Yep, it matches up, and I'm going to press install. Let it do its thing. Could take a few minutes, could take a few seconds, depends. Could not execute ptracker.exe, maybe your virus scanner is blocking it. Okay, so it says completed. That virus message will pop up most times out of 10. I don't think you'll need to turn off your Windows Defender or antivirus if you have one installed, but so that should be installed now. I'm going to go over here and launch Content Manager, how I launch the game. You may have Content Manager, you may just have the regular installer, it's no big deal. I'm going to go over here to Assetto Corsa tab in Settings, Assetto Corsa Apps. This is all the apps I have installed. So just saying we installed Car Radar, Crew Chief if you installed that, Helicorsa, OSRW, Pit Lane Penalty, Prune and P-Tracker as well. And so now that we have those installed and selected, I'm just going to go over to Drive, and so let's load the game up. This could take a while depending if you've got Assetto Corsa installed on your C drive or another drive. We're here in the game, number 35. Obviously it's not going to be number 35 when the season starts, but that's irrelevant. So to see your apps page, just scroll over to the right hand side here with your mouse, right hand side of the screen, and you'll see a tab called Your Apps up here. So you're going to want to go up here, and first we'll start from the top obviously. So if you remember, we installed one called Prune, P-R-U-N-N. It's ACTV in the app screen, so you're just going to want to turn on any of these you want. Tower is the one that'll show all of the names and times. It'll pop up as you complete laps over here, but you can see it's highlighted here. So we'll just go ahead and pin that one there. And so that is Prune done. If we continue to move down the line, we can see Crew Chief. You don't need to turn that one on. Crew Chief works seamlessly in the background. Working down the list, you'll see OSRW. We'll turn this on, and so you can see it says Race Admin activated. So if we move it around, and basically once you have this enabled during a race, if there is a safety car yellow flag, it will pop up here or here wherever you drag it. So we'll just leave this one over here, pin that one there. Actually move it out of the way of the app screen. So I'll just put it over here next to the mirror. Continuing down the line, so OSRW, and you can adjust settings here. This is what it'll look like in a race. Obviously not with all this rubbish on your screen, but you'll see the lights as they turn on. Pit lane as you enter the pit lane, and your speed in the pit lane, and any penalties, your number, pit lane penalty, seconds and laps. So we'll just hide that one for now. Next is pit lane penalty. This one as well, it will show basically flags. Alright, so pit lane penalty is actually a bit weird how it works. It'll show a green or red box when you go off track. So if I just drive off track here, I can't actually because I don't have my wheel plugged in. But if you drive off track onto the green stuff over here, a green or red flag will pop up. When the flag is red, you cannot enter the track or you will get a warning. You get 5 warnings on the server. When the flag is green, then you can enter the track and you will not get a penalty. If you cut a corner, obviously, you will get a cut track up there, similar to iRacing. So we'll just pin that one up here next to the mirror as well. Continuing down the line, what do we got here? Helicorsa. So, or Car Radar. So I prefer to run Helicorsa just because it's not as in your face, and it just fades in and out as cars around you go past. I like to put it in the middle of my screen because it's invisible most times, and then as a car comes around you, you will see their box light up as they go around you. Car Radar is a little bit different, whereas it is always on, you can see here, and when there are cars around you, it is quite large and on your screen, and I'm just, to be honest, not a great fan of that, so I'm going to turn Car Radar off. And then lastly, P-Tracker. So this is a bit like ACTV Tower, where it'll show you the times. You don't have to have this running, like turned on, as it will run in the background, but you can have it running down here if you want, and there are a few settings. Yeah, so you can pop up, no, change, yeah, so you don't have to have it turned on. You can just have it running in the background, but it will always run in the background. So I'm just going to turn it off because it is intrusive on the screen. It's recommended to have messages on though. I would leave that the messages just down in the corner or something like that. And lastly, for the apps, we're going to close this downloaded apps and open AC apps. And in here, we're going to find a bunch of stuff that might be helpful to you, like gears, for example, and onboard settings where you can adjust your FOV and stuff like that. But the one that we're going to be looking at today is real time. So this is one that we kind of like to have on, as it allows you during a race to see how many cars are in your general vicinity. So it'll say, like, so if I'm in P7, it'll say like P4, P5, P6, me in P7, P8, P9, P10, and it will tell you in seconds how far behind they are on track. So if I'm here at this point in the track and P6 is up at about that 100 board, that might be 0.8 difference. So it'll have me at 0 and them at plus 0.8. And that way it just lets you know how far ahead your competitors are ahead of you. And if you go off track and spin, for example, and you don't have, say, triple monitors or VR, and your mirror isn't straight, you can get a general idea of where people are around you based on their real time. So if you're off track and there's someone 2 seconds behind you and they're coming around this corner, you know not to enter the track because they're probably going to come straight towards you on the racing line. So we'd like to keep that one on. I'm just going to put it in the corner, leave that one there. Going through the rest of the apps, some helpful ones you might want to turn on. Essentials basically gives you how much fuel you have left, RPMs, gear, speed, and lap times. Gears, as I said, it'll give you the RPM and gear and speed. It's a nice compact one. Laps tell you how many laps there are remaining, or current lap rather, and your best and last lap times and current lap time. Pedal traces. This is a pretty good one for knowing how much brake pressure you're applying and how much throttle you're applying. You can also check how much your wheel is clipping with this meter here. And I also like to have sometimes maybe the track map on, just to, you can also see where competitors are around you, and also tires to see if you are overheating or not. Going down the list of developer apps, I don't think we're going to need any of these. No. And so that is going to be all for the apps, I think. So I'm just going to back out of here. So they're all working now that we've turned them on in-game. Just to reiterate what we've been through. So once you've installed them all, you're going to go through apps and just select them all. And you're going to go drive, go, and then select them all in-game. So thank you for watching. Hopefully that was clear enough to get you off the ground and running with your apps in-game. Make sure to have all these turned on when we race in our league races, as they will be a good help to you in the game. So thank you all, and I'll see you next time.